I used to think our community health system was flawed but fair, slow, underfunded, frustrating, yes, but at least honest. But the day I tried to secure medical support for a child who actually needed it, I learned the truth. It wasn't a system. It was a hierarchy. A quiet, polished, well-organized ladder, and some of us were never meant to climb it. The child's name was Lily, a quiet 10-year-old whose smile looked too tired for someone who hadn't even lived long enough to experience anything but innocence. She needed a specialized treatment, not optional, not convenient, necessary, urgent, life-shaping. Her mother, Rachel, worked 2 jobs and still had to choose between rent and groceries. She wasn't a politician's cousin. She wasn't a board member's niece. She was just a citizen, a decent one, the kind who apologizes when someone else bumps into her, the kind who thanks the health workers even when they ignore her. And the system treated her exactly like the box she checked on every form. Low income, other. We applied for the community medical sponsorship, the one that's supposed to exist for kids like Lily, the one they love to brag about on flyers and public speeches. And they rejected her. No explanation. Just resources are limited. Funny how limited resources always found their way to the same families. The influential, the wealthy, the people who could pay for their own treatment 10 times over. Yet they were first on every list. I wouldn't have believed it until I saw the names. Through one of the nurses. A fed-up woman named Melissa who was tired of being bullied by the upper class. I got a look at the priority list. And there it was. Kids with last names that opened doors. Kids who lived in neighborhoods where the streetlights never flickered. Kids whose parents drove new SUVs yet still collected medical assistance for the needy. Meanwhile, Lily, the one person who actually fit every requirement, was buried at the bottom. She would have died quietly in that silence, written off as unfortunate but unavoidable. So I did what they never expect people like me to do. I made noise, but not the kind they could dismiss. Not yelling, not begging, not screaming in the hallways. No, I documented everything, every list, every signature, every timestamp of every upper-class kid who magically qualified. Every form Rachel submitted that mysteriously vanished. Every meeting where the board discussed fair distribution while sipping imported water. I kept receipts. Literal, digital, verbal, all of it. Then I took it somewhere they couldn't control. The community forum live session. The one the mayor attends. The one the press watches. The one that streams publicly and stays online forever. I didn't point fingers. I didn't accuse anyone directly. I simply told the truth out loud. A fully detailed breakdown of the sponsorship program. And how only 3 out of 17 beneficiaries came from low-income homes. You could feel the air split. You could hear the guilt shift in chairs. One of the board members nearly choked on his expensive water. I showed the list, the proof, the patterns. People gasped. Some pretended they didn't know, even though they did. The mayor's face dropped so fast you'd think gravity had been waiting for the moment. The PR director's fake smile cracked like thin ice. And right there, in the middle of their embarrassment, the mayor leaned forward and said the words I had been waiting for. Could you bring Lily and her mother to my office tomorrow? Oh, now she was important. Now she mattered. Now they wanted to right the wrong. Funny how the truth works. They ignore you for years until the whole community hears you at once. Lily got the sponsorship, not a partial one, not a delayed one, the full coverage. Her mother cried in the hallway, not because they were generous, but because they were finally forced to be fair. As for the board, 2 of them resigned for personal reasons. Funding guidelines were reviewed, and suddenly, magically, more low-income kids made it onto the list. But here's the part that satisfies me the most. Every time those upper-class families try to push their kids ahead now, they whisper. They look around. They worry about another incident. They are afraid of being exposed. Good, let them be, because I didn't fight for a favor. I fought for balance, for visibility, for the idea that being poor doesn't mean being invisible. And I won, not with power, not with influence, not with money. I won with truth, the one thing they can't attach a price tag to.